Righto, it's all coming back to haunt me like a bad dream. This is lap 4, the last lap that I would be doing. It's about 2.5 hours in, and yeah, I've already done 3 laps. The bike is running, it's got about 2 bars out of 10 energy left, and I've been running it on a mix of trail and boost all day, but yeah, it hasn't been particularly managed. I found a problem where I tend to be accidentally bumping the switch from boost to from trail to boost mode without meaning to, and look how slowly he's going. But everyone has bonked. It's the fourth lap. Everyone has buggered. I thought it was just me, and no. But anyway, more of that later. What was I talking about? God, that's a good climb. I love that. If you hit it just right, getting over all those roots. Watch this here. He had to grab the tree. That's how tight he is. This is a really good rider who's in front of me. You'll see him a couple of times throughout this lap. I don't know his name, but we kept toing and froing past each other at different points. Sneak past him here. But anyway, yeah, with the I found that I kept accidentally knocking it from trail into boost mode whenever I hit my dropper post. So one thing I need to do is move my dropper post lever. Yeah, terribly tired. After the 3rd lap, I pulled up and had a muesli bar and a banana. I don't know how much it helped me, because I was pretty much bonking through the 3rd lap, and I was pretty much riding this whole 4th lap pre-bonked. I was stuffed. God, he's still got some energy, hasn't he? This bloke hasn't. So he's just coasting down there. As you can see at the moment, now this is what I mean about accidentally knocking that switch. I'm in boost mode, even though I know I'm out of battery power. I'm meant to be in trail mode, so at some point I've hit that button and put it into all the bars up into the yellow. So I'm climbing quite easily at the moment because I'm running on bloody full power.
Just about
out
of battery.
Really, I think at this point I'm unaware that I'm in full power, because I honestly thought that I was in trail mode. That was my plan when I set out. I wasn't going to use boost mode at all on the 4th lap, so that I could conserve the energy. All of those roots, they caught me out the first time there, but I nailed it every time after that. You just have to hit them at the right angle. The track was getting quite sloppy, as you can see. I hate that rock in the middle of the track there. I remember all this. It's crazy. I nailed that drop off now. But even there, I'm going a lot slower than what I was. My concentration was definitely down. And you'll see a bit of I do a little bit of voice to camera while I'm riding, but not very much. And you can just tell when I do speak that my brain isn't totally there. I am so exhausted on this lap. And the thing it reminds me of actually was also up in the Mackay region was 2017, the Mackay Mountain Marathon. And I rode a fat bike in that, so and unpowered, an analog fat bike, and big 26 by 4.8 fat tyres on it. And yeah, that was again about 900 metres elevation and 38 kilometres, and by the end of it, yeah, totally bonked. It's how I felt on this. I felt very similar on this, and I think it's because it's a combination of I was unfamiliar with the track. I had to learn it on the fly. I didn't know how to best use my power settings. And it was constant undulations, all this short ups and short downs. And that's the where it was wearing me out doing all that, it was also wearing the bike out, because by default I just generally for the first 3 laps I just kept it in boost mode, and rather than trying to overthink it while I was trying to learn the trails as well. And I think that's where I did my battery a bit of a disservice. This section here, though I'm not showing all of it, on the first video I did, this is incredibly long. This is, I think it's probably about 1 kilometre uphill. Look at that, incredibly sloppy. So this is lap 4. My battery, I've raced in full power, what do they call it, boost mode, up until for the first 3 laps. Bloody grueling race. It's tight switchback, and even though it's the middle of winter, it's bloody humid, rainforest, and I had 100 mil of rain here last night. So I'm in trail mode at the moment, trying to conserve my energy. It's saying I have about 10 kilometres range left. And I've got about 4.5, 5 k's to go. Oh, I am buggered. I'm so tempted to throw it into boost. I'm down to 2 bars. Same thought as me, pull up for a blow.
Oh, yeah. Oh, cramping?
Nah, just buggered, running out of energy, eh? I won't be overtaken, I'm nearly out of battery.
Oh, okay.
And I'm bonking, I think, so
Yeah.
good time to just calm down.
You have a spare battery?
No,
You gonna charge it?
no, it's the end of my race.
Oh, yeah, fair enough.
Gee, these switchbacks are tight, eh?
Yeah. Yeah.
Cramp again.
Yeah, I'm cramping.
Oh, okay, you right? Ah yes, this is where the battery power light starts flashing orange, and I had no idea what that meant. I assumed it meant that the battery was about to die. So at this point I started coasting as much as possible. I just stopped pedaling on all the hills, only when I needed to. Yeah, that frazzled me a little bit, but I still managed to keep a decent amount of speed up, but it was clear that my coordination was going a little bit. Yeah, I didn't feel quite as confident as I had earlier. I knew that everything was working against me a bit, but yeah, fortunately I'd done a bit of gravity before. There was a good video I did on going down Finley's unpowered. Those timber slides, I went over those so fast earlier. I am definitely back in coordination there. Oh yeah, okay, so this is where, so I was clicking up the gears and increasing, using a lower cadence, so basically trying not to put as much power on, and it had worked so far, and now, but though I was on a flat area and I really wasn't ready for what was about to happen. And up here is a rock garden. Yeah.
Shit.
I didn't have enough momentum and I wasn't in a low enough gear. And at the last minute I sort of tried to put in the power, but I knew it wasn't going to happen, so it went a bit pear-shaped. We recovered. Again though, it was evident that oh my god. Oh, that was a close miss. Oh, I nearly went down the mountainside. Excellent. Oh yeah. That's a pretty switchback, that. They've put a lot of work into that. This is a lovely little straight actually. There's beautiful moss covered stones. You must never get any bloody sunlight in here. And this rock garden, I took that A-line last time, straight up the middle. But yeah, I just knew that I didn't have the coordination this time, so I've taken a long B-line. But yeah, lap 2 and 3 I went straight up that A-line. Boy oh boy. Bunking severely, and we're down to, I can't tell if that's 1 red bar or 2. We're trying to get a decent look here. I think it's 1. Basically, I'm screwed. So, what did I learn from this crazy exercise? Lots and lots. First, if your bike comes with a flip chip, which the Polygon does, put it in high mode. A couple of weeks ago when I raced in Rockhampton, I didn't flip the chip, and as a result the bike felt longer. It was definitely less agile in switchbacks, and it was a bit, it wasn't as responsive on the climbs. I didn't have that fast explosive acceleration that I'm used to on an XC bike. This time I did flip the chip, and switchbacks were easier, log rollovers, short climbs. Yeah, the thing just felt more like an XC bike than an enduro bike. Also, on your first lap, stay away from the elites. Don't try and race them. So what I'm noticing is becoming a pattern is the race organisers at the beginning will go, right, all the elites and e-bikes at the front, and that's fine. Go off in that bunch, but let the elites overtake you, because they're going to be doing 35, 40 kilometres an hour on that initial sprint. You're on a bike that's speed limited to 25. You're mad if you try to keep up with them. If you're going to try and stay ahead of them, you're going to, well, you'll disable your motor for that. You'll be pushing a heavy bike, but using your own energy. We're talking an XCM event, that's cross-country marathon, so it's a long ride, not a sprint. So anyway, let them go ahead. You don't want to be caught up in their traffic, but use them. Follow them. You can sit on their tail. Once they all start bunching up and it becomes single track, they'll all bunch up. Find out the best line. The elites know the best lines. That's why they're elites. Follow them, learn from them. Chances are you're going to overtake them in 3 or 4 laps when their energy runs out. So you're not racing against them. All you're worried about is other e-bikes. Use the elites in that regard. Don't get in their way, but you use their knowledge. 3, also use that first lap to find your battery sweet spot. So where I went really wrong in this race, because I didn't know the trail, which is fine, but I just stayed in boost mode by default. So I used up a lot of power that I didn't need to. It was only on the 4th lap, as you see that I'm starting to use the gear control, or the power level controller, and starting to rotate through the different modes, simply because I was running out of power. I should have been doing that a lot earlier. And on that first lap, that's where you should be finding it. You don't need to constantly be hearing that whining motor as you're pedaling down a hill. You just coast. Coast works fine. You're not actually adding anything to it. And 4, right tyres for the course and for your skill level. So on my previous, on the first lap video, I mentioned that I brought a set of lightweight Bontrager carbon rims with XC tyres, which I didn't end up using because the track was so sloppy. Instead I went with the factory hand stamped tyres that came with the Polygon. And on the first lap I was saying how glad I was that I had chosen to use the hand stamped tyres. By the second or third lap, I was wishing that I was on the XC tyres, because by that point I knew the lines, I knew the track, and I wanted that extra speed. If I had have done a bit more preparation, say come up the previous day and looked at the course, I could have entered the race on those lightweight wheels, and it would have given me power savings on the battery, because less rotational power and less rotational mass, sorry, and better rolling resistance. So yeah, that was a bit of a letdown there, but yeah, again, something I learned. So if you can get away with an XC tyre in a sloppy course, it's definitely going to give you an advantage, and it's going to give you battery power savings. Number 5, use the power controller as a gearbox. So you're just used to, I think, using a derailleur for everything, but you don't, like if you're in low range and it's a particularly steep hill, sure, use boost. But if you're in low range and you're just trying to get over the top of something that's only, 5 or 10 meters up, go in eco. You don't need to be in boost all the time. And it's those little up and down the gears, up and down the power levels that are going to save you range, give you extra range on your bike. That said, don't do that at the expense of your own energy levels. So you're doing this balance of, you want to be running around that 80%, 70 to 80% of your energy levels, because you want to be able to last that 3 or 6 hours, And number 6, 1 battery equals 3 hours. That's the new mathematical equation I'll be using. If you follow that advice I just gave you, and you're running a 630 watt hour battery and an EP801 Shimano system, yeah, 1 battery, 3 hours. And so this is a 6-hour event, so I really only got my 3 hours in. But next time I run a 6-hour, I'll take a spare battery, and after the 3 hours, I'll just quickly swap it over. It takes all of 1 minute, so that's okay. They're very expensive, yes. 1,430 I think is the current price. It's new tech, so that's the current price in Australia for for a 8036, I think it is, Shimano battery. That will go down in the years ahead, and I'm sure there'll be aftermarket ones become available too. If you can't afford that, well, and you want to go on a 6-hour event, well, just grab a mate and go in a team of 2. But yeah, I think for a 6, or definitely for a 6-hour, you'll need a second battery if you're going solo. That's about it. I have no more pearls of wisdom, but I definitely learned a lot from this race, and I hope you did too. And yeah, we'll see you in the next video, hey? Righto, bye. That's it for me.
Done. Battery shot.
Yeah, down to 1 red bar.
Yeah, you don't want to get caught halfway.
And I am bonked.
It's getting slippery out there now.
Yeah.
Went over me lap. A few bits I wasn't expecting to nearly fall off.
How many laps you do?
I've only done 3 laps. I'm fucked.
I've done 4.
4, okay.
And I'm fucked.
Not so bad now.
That's it. That's it.
I am fucked.
Righto. Thanks for your company. Here's a few more videos you might enjoy. If you enjoyed that one, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe. That would mean the world to me. Righto. See you out on the trails next time. Bye.